Our story is about people with disabilities and people with disabilities moving into employment. Our project is very much working with organisations and companies who have the potential to employ people with disabilities, and getting to understand what is good practice in that area, providing them with supports and knowledge so they won't be afraid to engage with people with disabilities. As part of what we've done, we've developed some different tools for people to understand. A one-stop shop approach was actually used. For this we have a number of different services. One of them is access services, and this is where we'll go along to organisations and look at their physical environment and assess their physical environment and tell them how they can improve to make it more accessible. We also work with organisations around their staff and managers in their attitudes, and we deliver a lot of disability and diversity awareness, just to encourage, I suppose, people to be thinking a little bit outside the box and not to be so stereotypical in their attitudes towards people with disabilities. We also provide supports to organisations in the form of work paths. So once an organisation has actually taken on people with disabilities, if they encounter any issues in the day-to-day management, or indeed if the people with disabilities encounter any issues in being part of that place of work, we provide support and advice on what to do in certain situations. Disability management is a new area that's we're involved a lot in, and this is where people who have acquired disabilities, and we're providing supports in that area as well. So it's where the likes of yourself and myself, we're working away, we acquire a disability. What happens then? How do we return to work? And the supports that are needed by the organisation for that return to take place. The lessons on the project were very much partnership, the importance of partnership with organisations. Our project happened in two parts. And the first part of that partnership was sitting down with the organisations and saying, look, this is what we'd like you to do, now what do you think? And the organisations themselves saying, well, this is how we feel about it, and this is the supports that we'd actually need. We had key organisations sitting around the table, which is a lot of them umbrella organisations in their own right. We had the likes of the Dublin Chamber of Commerce, we had the SIP2, we had IBEC, so we had a lot of representation sitting around that table who could actually influence then other employers to take people with disabilities into the place of employment. So partnership was key for us in that particular learning. And then of course the second part was developing the tools to support the employers around that. And the involvement of those tools and what we started with and really what we're using now and how they've actually changed to do with the legislation, or if it's to do with the needs of the people that are going to be placed into work, or if it's to do with the place of employment. So just a constant evolving of the tools and being able to support the organisations and people with disabilities moving into employment. So a main message for the ESF and the funding managers, to take the learning that's been there and to make sure that it's been used by as many organisations as is applicable to. Some of the tools that we've developed have been very useful for us, and as I say, they have grown and they have evolved, and there's no reason why other organisations in other European countries can't take a look at what we've done and see how useful they are for them. We all work within the same framework of EU legislation. We all work to similar laws, so there's no doubt that that sort of learning can take place, and it can actually be used in different countries with different organisations.